Welcome to Tableau Buddy Tug, giving voice to our community rising stars. And we have been doing this for around 3 years now. And it has been quite great in the Tableau Buddy family altogether. So, some of the things about Tableau Buddy as whole, like how it started and what was the initial vision. So we started off in 2021 with one-to-one mentorships. We still do, totally free for career guidance and anything related to skilling up in Tableau. We have done more than 500 plus one-to-one calls, and then we started Tableau Buddy Tug. It's, I would say, the only Tableau user group for the people, because our mission has been to have a platform and to provide a platform to upcoming voices or the data experts over there who haven't been sharing their knowledge altogether. So this is for the speaker. This tag has been for the speaker, and rather, I wouldn't say not for the audience, but yes, that has been altogether our goal. And then last year, we initiated one of our big projects, that is Tableau Buddy Sandbox, which is an accelerator program to mentor 18 learners across the globe. Last year, we had a competition to get these 18 learners, and then followed by this, we started the cohort, our first cohort in Jan 25, and it has been going well with so many mentors and our team and all the mentees. It has been quite a great experience. And the big news is we are going to talk about Tableau Buddy Sandbox at Tableau Conference. And we are going to talk about how any company can take a few of the resources in the Tableau community and build a whole BI enablement path for their organization. So if you're coming, please do check out our session as well. And as I said, our vision and mission is to provide opportunities to new and upcoming voices. And all we want is you to have fun, enjoy life, and Tableau. That's all we are gonna do, and that's why we are here as well, right? So that's one of our goals. And today we are. Before I talk about the agenda, if you haven't subscribed us on YouTube or you haven't joined our WhatsApp group, you can join them. We are going to share all these recordings over there, as well as any updates are there on the WhatsApp group. So I'll hold on here for a couple of minutes so that you can just scan and join if you haven't. This part gets a bit silent always when I have to hold on for people to scan. It's fine. Okay, I'm gonna roll over. So today, this is our agenda. First, we already did our welcome and introduction. Then we are going to have the set, one of the major session, Map Layers Magic by Blake. And then we are going to have a session around accelerators, AI, and extensions by Abhinav, followed by Q&A. So I'm going to also start the Q&A. So whatever your questions are, please put that up. And also in the chat, be as much conversations you have. Also, it will be really good to know where are you coming from. So just putting a hello, where are you from, will be great, and just keep the conversation busy. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce our first speaker, who is Blake Feiza. He's a decision science analyst at HEB, and he's going to talk about MapLayer's magic, how he built a complete Tableau dashboard on one sheet. He is a data enthusiast with a passion for solving complex problems and data storytelling. He uses Tableau both professionally and as a hobby, and he looks to push the boundaries of what is possible. And he's also a co-leader of retail and consumer goods TUG, and also he's posting lots of great content for DataFam on his blog. So do check out his LinkedIn as well as his blog, and he's going to share a lot of things today as well. So now I'm going to hand over this to Blake, and thank you so much, Blake, for coming to our tug and also sharing your knowledge with us.
the inspiration here for how we go about this. So without further ado, and in the essence of time, I have a lot of these calculations built already. Again, all of them will be fully available on that blog post, but I can just go ahead and give a bit of an intro into the build itself. So if I go ahead and grab a new sheet here, the first thing that I think we'll probably want to build are the heat map squares in the middle of our map. So in a nutshell, everything map layers related is going to be based on a make point calculation. In this case, if I jump into my heat map calcs here, I have these points, and these points are comprised of just this make point function with a y-axis and an x-axis. So I can jump into these calculations in just a sec, but if I double click this make point calculation, you can already see I'm starting to get these 9 dots here that are the bones of our heat map. Just so that I can, if we look in the bottom corner right now, we have 1 mark in the view. That's because we haven't split out the view by our preferred and current categories. So if I just go ahead and drag current category and preferred category to detail, now we've got that 9 marks in the corner. And each of these points are representing a combination of hybrid, on-site, and remote work. And as promised, that X and Y axis calculation are essentially just giving us some logic around how we want to, in this case, define the y-axis for each of these values. So in the case of on-site, we're going to put that up at a value of 3 in that top row. Hybrid sits in the middle at 2, and then remote sits down at the bottom at a value of 1 on the y-axis. And in doing so, we get these 9 different points here. If I go ahead and change my mark type to a square, and maybe I make the size a bit bigger here, we can already start to see the bones for some of this visualization. So in a traditional setting, making a heat map isn't all that difficult. The hard part is when we want to start to add these bars on the side and add some of the context, how to go about that. Historically, it's been, a 3-sheet sort of exercise. So you make, your first sheet for your heat map, second sheet for one set of bars, and then your third for the other set. But in this case with map layers, we actually don't need to do that at all. We can just continue to build on the same sheet. So the next piece here is we've got vertical bars and horizontal bars. I'm going to go ahead and start with the horizontal bars just for funsies. And this technique is a little bit more involved than just changing our mark type to a square. So I'm going to start with taking these bar dots here. And if I just click and drag this and add this as a new marks layer, this is the power of map layers that breaks our traditional conventions for what you can do in a sheet. All of a sudden, we've got these new points that are coming into the picture and starting to form bars. In this case, the way that we actually do any sort of bar in a map is using a polygon. So what we have here, if I flip to one of these calculations, is essentially some logic that looks a bit intense, but really isn't all that crazy when you think about it. We're basically just defining 5 different points. So if you think about your first 4 being each corner of a rectangle, and then that 5th point just takes you from your last point back home to the beginning. So it connects that full circle and fills the shape. So I'm going to go ahead and, again, because we don't have anything on our detail shelf here, everything is grouped a little bit funny. So this way, we're going to have our current category. So let me go ahead and grab current category and add that to detail. And then lastly, if I take point ID, I'm going to move it to detail for now. But if I go ahead and change this to a polygon, oh, and we're having one of my points is missing here. Just 1 second. Horizontal. 3, 4. This is always fun. Good old live demo. My point 2 is not working here for some reason. Plus P width. All right, let me see if I add the vertical bar on here as well, if that happens again. It shouldn't happen. And then let me go ahead and grab preferred category here and the point ID. Add that to Polygon. Interesting. So I'm getting triangles. Let me just take a quick peek at the other viz and see what the difference is here. Preferred category, point ID, vertical and preferred. Vertical and preferred. Very strange. Well, I'm going to keep moving here for just a minute while I don't want to get caught up on that. But essentially what's happening here is we can see the shape is being connected by our points. So point 1 is going to, in this case, point 3, and point 3 is going to point 4, and point 4 is going back to point 1. And if I double check what's going on here, interesting. So we have our point 2. All right. Well, nevertheless, I'm going to keep moving here. There should be bars, and if I find the answer to this, I will definitely call it out here in just a moment. I'm not sure why that happened. It didn't happen during my prep. But
it's fine. Like I think we can move ahead. So because
perfect.
I know it happens. Yeah.
No worries. Awesome. Well, so once we would have those bars on the sides here, the next piece would be essentially adding our labels on. So instead of doing a traditional sort of, labeling on text, with this sort of an approach, we actually have to put a point in our space here. And with that point that's floating, we're then able to drop our label on top, essentially. So here I've just got a quick calculation that's defining a point in space. And if I go ahead and drag this vertical bar labels on, and then have the top is preferred, I can move this on to detail. And now I've got these 3 different points here. If I flip my preferred category to label, and then I grab my preferred arrangement value and put that on label as well, we can start to see that label coming into play here. And then last but not least, for these little circle marks that we have, we can just lower the opacity down. And now we've got our labels. I'm going to go ahead and edit the alignment here to push these up a little bit. And yeah, now we have labels for these bars. And the next piece here would be to do essentially the same thing for the horizontal bars. So if I just grab that make point value as a mark layer, and I add the current category to label, and then additionally the current arrangement to label, I can lower the opacity of my dots once more, make these circles. And then this time I'm going to make my alignment shift to the left so that we can have those labels sitting over to the left. Perfect. And here, this isn't quite centered, but if we go into the text, it's an easy fix. If we center here, everything flips around. But perfect. So there's plenty of formatting that we can do from here to continue cleaning things up. A simple thing would be adding some logic for our color on our squares. So if we flip back to our squares in the middle of our heat map, I have a calculation for color. If I drop that on, we can start to see everything come to life a little bit here. And I've also got a calculation here for our values in our heat map. So if I drop that on label and go ahead and center here, we can start to see the bones of this heat map coming to life. And one thing that I want to call out is when you're building these make point calculations, if you build them with static values, it gets a bit tricky when it comes to moving things around and getting them to sit just right. And of course, when you take your sheet and you actually put it on a dashboard at the end, everything will shift just a little bit. So I found it super powerful to use parameters in a lot of these calculations. So that's essentially what we have with a whole bunch of these parameters that you see down here at the bottom. I'm using some of the ASCII symbols to help me remember which of these calculations shift my elements to the left and to the right, or up and down. But in this case, if I grab like this shrink parameter, and all of this is going to be outlined in more detail in that blog post as well. But if I change this value, we can start to see our bars will get shorter or longer. And this kind of helps as we start to build out that view and get things to sit just right. So my final product, I ended up trying to parameterize just about everything that sits on this view. If you see over here, we've got the footer at the bottom here, which again is just a simple make point with labels on it. But now that I have this here, I can move this value around to maybe 2. And you see this text slide over to the side, -2, and it slides back to the right. So you essentially get more of a free form sort of way to play around with your map layers. So super powerful technique. Really, the world is your oyster once you start building with map layers. It's a little bit uncomfortable at first, but once you build your first set of bars or your first heat map, it really does become a lot more intuitive. And yeah, I'm really hoping that some of the resources in my blog post as well will help as far as explaining some of the details and kind of how we build through this. So yeah, that is largely what I wanted to talk about for today's sessions. I highly encourage you to check out the post, check out the Makeover Monday community project, and continue to build and explore with map layers. This is a technique that's been around for a long time now, but only as of recently have people really started to leverage it and put it into that main light. So yeah, I would highly encourage you to try it out yourself. Maybe don't go all the way and put your title and your footer on your sheet, but definitely, there's some good principles here that can help you build some beautiful bespoke charts. So with that, I did want to quickly share, QR codes to 3 different things. First off, over on the left is going to be a QR code to that new blog post. In the middle here, Prasan had mentioned I'm a co-leader of the retail TUG. So this is the Slack channel if you want to get involved with some of the content that we're putting together. Still a fairly new TUG, so hop on board early. And then the third QR code is just a link to my Tableau public. So feel free to drop a follow if this sort of content interests you. But yeah, that is largely what I have for today.
Thank you so much, Blake, for taking us through the build. I know live build is kind of interesting as well as tough, because recently I messed up as well at one of the sessions I was doing at an organization. It was simple 3 pills, and at that moment I didn't know what was happening, and that's fine. But the most important thing is how the whole thing, or the whole idea of map layers is important, and you can put up all the different layers over it, and you can build something that might used to take 10 sheets earlier, but now you can do it at in just one. That's the power. And thank you for showing us that. We have one question from Checkwas. It's about when you're doing this, have you done any changes to the data model?
Yes.
Have you
So
densified or done anything around that?
it's a great call out and a great question. So in this case, yes, I did actually do a little bit of data modeling here, and let me share my screen once more. Again, highly would recommend checking out the blog post. The whole first section I have here basically breaks down the exact steps that I took with this data model. There's a link here to get all 3 data sets that are used. And essentially, the data densification piece that I think the question relates to is I have this data set that's just 1,000 points, where we've got point ID 1 through 1,000. In this case, we only need the first 5. So when we make that relationship to our point data set, we essentially can just define the value of 5 is greater than or equal to point ID. And that's going to drop those other 995 values and essentially densify every row to 5 rows. So that is a little tip and trick there. Definitely check out the blog. But yeah, that's that.
Thank you so much. I think one question is around your blog post. So can you just again show us the QR codes, because some of us wants to check out your blog and see how you've done it. It will be helpful for
Absolutely.
everyone to just go through it.
Perfect. Yes, and it's going to be that QR code on the far left here for that blog post.
That's true, Dennis. Dennis is just mentioning like how it's tricky to getting the formatting right, because sometimes you have a mark and then you place it in the sheet, it's looking good, but then you go to the dashboard and it shifts. Right?
Exactly.
And then you again come over, maybe you change those points or those coordinates. But it's fun though. Uh, I was recently building a dashboard at work, and we could do it with small multiples, but there were some nuances that we couldn't. And
Mhm.
then I was building that with map layers, its trend and all those KPI stuff. And it was kind of interesting how you can just, it's all about like setting up that end-to-end nodes first and then playing around it with some of the maths. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things where you spend a whole bunch of time your first time around formatting everything just right to the pixel, and then you forget about that last step in the dashboard. And I've been burned a couple times doing that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, great.
All right.
uh, just one question popped up, let me see, could you please okay, so there's one more additional question that just came up. Senthil wants to know that what was the thought process of your design behind this viz, and what was your initial steps in coming up with this altogether concept and design?
Yeah. I think as far as the inspiration and thought process behind this viz, it really was trying to figure out the relationship between people that are, trying to relate the category of work that someone is in today and where they would like to be. And for me, the big question that kind of came to my mind as I scoped that data was, okay, well, how many people are happy where they are today? How many people would prefer more remote work? And how many people would actually prefer more in-person work? So as I brainstormed different ways to visualize some of that relationship, some sort of a flow chart is kind of the best way to do that. And I wasn't really looking to do a Sankey this week necessarily. So I think that the sort of heat map with those bars serving as kind of pipes was the best way to start to show that data. And that was the bulk of the dashboard, to be honest. Everything else was formatting and some of those insights being called out at the bottom. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the whole process, how does it goes, that really helps. So thank you so much again for taking us through, and thank you to Reina for letting you do this presentation, right?
That's right. She slept through it, but she'll watch the recording, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly. Because if she wouldn't have decided that you can do this presentation, I don't think we could help it, right?
That's right. She loaned us out a couple pets so I could be here today.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much again, Blake, for doing this with us. And now we are going to go ahead with our next speaker. Allow to share my screen. Okay, so here we have Abhinav KR. He's a senior Tableau developer at Bird Eye, and today is going to talk about supercharging Tableau, accelerators, AI, and extensions in action. He's a senior Tableau developer, an experienced business intelligence consultant with a demonstrated history of working with the information and service industry. And altogether, I know him from when I started my journey as well. He used to Wiz as well, and we worked in the same company for a couple of years or maybe 1 year. And yeah, his visualizations are great, clean, great eye for design. So now I'm going to hand over to Abhinav to take us through his great session. Thank you so much, Abhinav, for doing this with us.
Yep. Thank you, Prashant, and thank you very much, Blake, for this session. Like, really loved the super trick on the map layers and how you were able to combine everything into one single seat. I mean, that is like a super powerful trick. So, going ahead with my topic, let me share my screen. Okay. Yep. Is it visible?
Yes, we can see it.
Oh,
Blake,
okay.
would you mind answering? There are some questions in the Q&A that will help. Sorry about now.
Yep.
Please go ahead. Abhinav, go ahead. You can share your screen and start.
Okay. 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 Sorry. Yeah, so the topic for my session, as Prashant explained. So today I will be going to focus on how we can leverage Tableau, beyond its basic capabilities. How we can use Tableau to do things which are not at all easily possible. But as we are already aware, Tableau is experimenting each day and offering us new products and new features with its every quarterly release. So today we are going to focus on accelerators, how we can leverage accelerators to say cut down our development time, and how we can leverage AI features like the Tableau Pulse or the recent Tableau Next, which Tableau is investing more and more on the AI part. And also we will be going to see how we can leverage extensions in Tableau. So moving ahead to the introduction part. So I didn't introduce myself. I hope Prasan already covered it, but let me again cover this. So right now I'm working with Birdeye, that is a marketing-based platform, and I'm working in the customer success domain. So I have been working on Tableau since around 8 years, and I take keen interest in working on Tableau. And I have been taking part in the TUG sessions recently. So trying to focus more on my public speaking skills, my public speaking skills. And also I have recently started a new series on LinkedIn, that is the Learn with Abhinav, where I try to share more and more tips on Tableau, like how we can use Tableau in a better way. And I am a proud father of a gentle giant, so I own a Saint Bernard. So I think that was relevant to this conversation. So moving ahead to the agenda. So as I just mentioned, we will be focusing mainly on the accelerators part, and the Tableau Pulse and the extensions. So what exactly is accelerators? So accelerators are we can assume accelerators as custom built templates by Tableau or different vendors. So Tableau has a specific page dedicated for all these industry specific dashboards. So, just imagine some small business, new firm which doesn't have the capabilities to invest in more and more data analytical resources or to hire more resources. So, for them, it's quite easy to leverage already built accelerators, because Tableau has already created uh, industry specific KPI and dashboards. So for the reporting that they need, they just need to look for what particular industry they are interested in, and they can download the Tableau accelerators. And Tableau accelerators offer complete customization on the dashboard. So like we can map in our data, we can tweak in our data based on the like requirements of the particular accelerator. And once the data modeling is completed, then like we can just simply plug and play the data, and it will automatically reflect the numbers on those KPIs. Now again, like if we want to add in more and more KPIs, we can even do that as well. So that is about the Tableau accelerators. Now on the AI in Tableau. So AI is the new cool word, or the AI is the new buzzword these days. So each and every organization, if you are not leveraging AI, you will be considered as someone who is living under the rocks or the cave. So now everybody is trying their hands on AI. So Tableau has also invested their resource and their time in AI based product called Tableau Pulse. So earlier we were having ask data and explain data, things like that. But now in the current year, it is going to be retired very soon, because Tableau is focusing more on the Pulse side. So now, what is Pulse? So Pulse is basically AI-based algorithm wherein you need to define the key metric which are important for your business, and based on your selection, Tableau will automatically generate the fluctuations in your data, and whenever there is going to be a fluctuation, Tableau will automatically trigger an alert to your mailbox or Slack, or even on Microsoft Teams, and you will get notification in a particular frequency, say weekly, or like you can like modify the frequency as well. So moving ahead on the extensions, what are Tableau extensions, and what exactly they mean for us? So extensions are nothing but just consider them as library that is built on like third party tools. And so just if we just look at this particular like image, so we can see that this particular chart is not available in the show me kind of charts which Tableau offers by default. Now again, people have been building these kind of charts since very long, by using data densification, or like custom data modeling, or like shaping their data in a way by which they were able to replicate things like that. But why we need to spend so much time if we need like these kind of custom visuals? So nowadays like people are working on creating third party tools which you can directly integrate into your Tableau environment, and it will automatically generate the chart based on your data. So that is what extensions is all about. So focusing more specifically on like all these now. So as I just mentioned, like the accelerators. So accelerators are like the templates which is offered by Tableau for each and every industry. Now the more important point, how it is going to help you. I mean, if Tableau is offering accelerator, why will someone use it? So the main point is like it basically reduces the development time, and you already have the standard KPIs available in the dashboard. Like if someone is not having the idea on the reporting side of the business for a particular industry, and he or she wants to explore more into it, so they can take an idea. And trust me, in my current organization and even in our past organizations, so we have been leveraging heavily on Tableau accelerators to cut down our development time, and it was like a big game changer for us. Now as I just mentioned, we can customize it based on our requirements. So there is no a hard coded version, like it is built for you and it is meant for you. So moving ahead to the Tableau Pulse part, I already explained what is Tableau Pulse and how it triggers an alert to your Slack, email, or your Teams. And just imagine like you woke up on Monday morning, and after spending your like weekend, like you are going to start your office, and you will see like a notification on your phone that the number of customers got churned by this much percentage in your like dashboard. So I think for someone who is working for the business, or for someone who is working in the data, so these kind of things really mean like a lot. So you don't need to log into Tableau to get to know these kind of like things. So Tableau is offering you all these information on your device. So I think that is a like good like feature. And also Tableau is going to invest more and more resources and time in Tableau Pulse, and how people can build their dashboard like. And I think they have packaged a similar product called as Tableau Next, which we will be like seeing like more of it in this year. So coming down to the extensions. So extensions have been around in the Tableau world for long. So it is not something new. Like I remember like we have been seeing Tableau extensions, and but these were not being adopted more, or like not many people were using it. So earlier you need to download the .trex file, and then you need to connect into your Tableau dashboard environment. Then only you can like use the extensions. But now Tableau is like Tableau with the new releases of I mean with the new release of Tableau desktop, or the Tableau version. Now you will see the extension in your marks card only. I mean you can simply select extensions from your marks card, and you can like get to explore all the possible extensions that are available. And like you can download and use accordingly. So this is all about the Tableau Viz extensions. And again, the most important part, like how it is going to help you. So it basically offers you better UI, better user experience, and like it kind of helps you to trim down the data densification part or the custom data modeling part. I mean, you don't need to invest too much of your time to build something which can be done easily. People like Ludovic, and companies like Infotopics for Tableau, and many more vendors are working a lot to like produce these kind of Tableau Viz extensions. So we will be covering all these details in a while. So moving ahead to the next part. So I think I like uh, told you a lot in theory. So let's see some of these if we can try to cover hands-on. So let me like okay. So starting with the accelerators part. So how you can like use accelerators. So this is the like home page for Tableau accelerators. Like from here you can easily see what Tableau accelerators is, and like how you can access it. So you can simply Google Tableau accelerators, and it will automatically direct you to this particular page. Now you can see you have like the option to select the particular connection type which is required for you. And you can also filter down based on your language. Now this is the most important part, the categories. So yeah, so these one are the like industry specific categories which you can like look into. So suppose if someone is interested in say sales dashboard, or HR dashboard, or marketing dashboard, so they can like simply select the marketing like say choice or the marketing category, and based on that particular category, you can see like you have multiple accelerators that are already available. Now, one thing that we need to like keep in mind is few of these accelerators are built by Tableau, and rest of them like maybe from different vendors. Now, like you need to look into these, like say if you are using your data or your public data, sorry, your private data, and you are trying to map in your private data into these accelerators, so just be aware if you are using from a third party vendor. So like, because whatever accelerators Tableau has built, so they are basically hosted on the Tableau's environment or the Tableau server, so you are kind of secure. But I'm not sure about the third party vendors. So I mean, you just need to keep in mind these things as well. So now, if we just focus on any of these, so just say we open the NPS one, the Net Promoter Score, which is a like really important key metric in the customer success or the sales domain. So in order to use this, what you need to do, you can download it from here. Now, before downloading, you need to understand what are the like required attributes that you need to have in your data. Because if say you downloaded it, so it will be built using some public data that Tableau has fed in, but your data will be different. It may or may not be exactly same. So in that case, what you need to do, you can see like it is written, it supports data mapping. So in order to map your data, you need to look into what are the required attributes that you need to have in your data. So you need to like add in these fields. Apart from these fields, you can have like other fields as well, but you need to have these fields as compulsory. So once you are done with the data modeling, you can simply download the accelerators. I mean, sorry, you can download the accelerators first, and then you can get to know that how is the structure of the data. You can download the data from the dashboard. So say I have this particular dashboard open, and so say this data is coming from Tableau only, and it is being used in the sample superstore dashboard. Now we can consider the sample super dashboard as an accelerator as well. So this is a custom, this is a dashboard that is already built by Tableau. So in order to get to see this data, we can view the data, and we will get to know that how the data is structured, and based on these we can download the data. Now once we have data downloaded as CSV or Excel, now based on this one, we can model our data using any ETL tool, or even in a simple Excel file, whichever is like feasible and easier. And once our data modeling is completed, we can use the data mapping. So the data mapping option is not visible here, because I'm using the sample superstore dashboard. So if you download the accelerator, it will show a data mapping option in the left. So based on the data mapping window, you can like plug in your data and use your accelerator. Now, moving ahead to the Tableau Pulse part, how you can define a metric, and how Tableau Pulse looks like. So in order to use Tableau Pulse, you need to keep in mind that Tableau Pulse is already like can only be accessed in the like Tableau cloud. You need to have access to Tableau cloud in order to use Tableau Pulse. So if you go to your Tableau cloud, you will notice this Tableau Pulse option here. You need to click here. Again, based on your organization, your admin might your admin may uh, enable it or disable it based on their organization policy. But if it is not visible to you on that particular window, so you need to contact your site admin or your server admin and ask to enable the access of Tableau Pulse. So this is how already defined metric looks like. So if we can see here, so we have created say KPI card for all the units that have been ordered from this particular period, 1st October to December 30. And based on this, so you only need to define your metric, and all these charts and everything, that Tableau will automatically populate based on your selection of the data and the required attributes. And the most interesting thing is, it offers the drill down into data based on the natural language processing. So you can simply click any of these. You can say simply select which region has high units ordered, and you will get to see like the west region is contributing most in terms of units ordered. So these kind of things can be answered easily and in a digestible way. You don't need to create any of these. Only thing you need to create is you need to create metric. So in order to create metric, all you need to do, you need to have access to the data source. So you can use any data source, be it like Excel CSV file or data coming from the regular DB, and you can connect the data source. After connecting, you need to provide the name, description, and you need to select whatever measure you want to select. You can choose the aggregation. You can choose the either running total or non-cumulative. Now, in order to reflect the Tableau Pulse metric correctly, you need to also define the date field. So if your date field is not defined, it will not populate. So you need to select the other metric filters as well. So once you do all these changes, it will automatically populate here. So this is how you set up Tableau Pulse, and it will give you this kind of KPI card, and you can configure like how exactly you want to be informed on this KPI card. So moving ahead to the extensions part, how we can leverage extensions. So this is so just imagine like we are working on a particular dashboard, and so let's take the example of okay, we can take customer ID, customer name, and also we can use reason as a filter. So I'm just trying to create a very simple kind of table, and okay, with customer ID, customer name, and also say what product they are using, and the ship mode, how exactly the order is being shipped. And let's look at the sales figure here. Now, this is a particular, a very simple kind of table. Now, how about if we can, if our end users come with a requirement wherein they want to say add or subtract the number of column. I mean, how about adding more columns to this view? I mean, we can provide the this kind of feature wherein they from the dashboard they can add in more columns how you do in Salesforce kind of thing, or how you kind of do in Salesforce kind of environment. So for this one, earlier, if I remember, there was a dashboard built by I don't remember the name, but I have also implemented the similar methodology. And Interworks, yeah, Interworks has implemented a similar a similar dashboard. But to achieve that kind of feature or dashboard, you need to invest in more and more time, and you need to create more and more calculation, and it is kind of challenging. You need to model your data for that particular requirement. But if you see, all I did, I just went to Tableau extension, and you can add extension, what extension you want. So right now I was I was using the super tables. So this is extension by info topics, And this is a like really cool extension. By using this, you can transform your tables to do things which are not very easily possible in Tableau. I mean, you can do conditional formatting of your columns. You can provide individual filters to your column. You can add in more column or remove more column. So you can like play or tweak the settings, and you can experience it yourself, like how you can like customize it based on your requirement. So this was all about the super tables. Now let me also give you one more example of another extension. So just imagine we are having say three filters here: reason, order date, profit ratio, and like just ignore this legend. So we are having this profit ratio, order rate, and reason. Now how about giving the end users a option to reset the filter? So I know that there is an option in Tableau by which you can create an empty sheet, and you can assign dashboard action, and from there you can do the filter action, so it will remove all the selection of that of all the filters. But in order to create that, it will take time. How about using a simple extension from the extension page? So you can simply select extension from here, just drag in, and select the what is this filter. Yeah, this is the filter bookmarks. So it is very simple to configure. You don't need to do much. You can like tweak the settings. You can customize the setting based on your requirement. So I'm not changing anything here. So now we have the revert filters here. You can change the name, you can change the color. Now just see it in action. So I'm choosing reason equal to central. I'm taking order date starting from 24th of November 23. Now I'm also changing the profit ratio to say how much percent, to 37%. Now we can see that our data is being filtered, our dashboard is being filtered. So each and every KPI, every chart is showing the filtered information. Now, in order to go back, what we can do, just imagine that if we are opening it in the wave, so you need to go back or refresh your dashboard. If you are opening it in dashboard, again, you can either control Z or select everything manually. Now, with the help of this revert filters, just click on this one, and it will automatically revert all your filter selections to the starting condition. So this is how you can like leverage the Tableau extensions in your daily life to make your development more easier and more meaningful. So talking about all or summarizing everything which I just like said. So accelerators help you save your time. Tableau Pulse gives you the triggered alert, and extensions are custom or third-party capabilities that you can like bring in your Tableau API. So yeah, thank you for like say listening to me so far.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Abhinav,
so much,
for
Abhinav.
taking us through. Having a double voice, echo. Okay. So thank you so much, Abhinav, for taking us through your session and also taking us through accelerators, Tableau Pulse, as well as Wiz extensions. I think Wiz extensions have been the talk of the town pretty much last year, and everyone is like just buzzing around it because there has been an ask for Sankey almost. I think Blake and you, both of you, will agree that at some point, some of your leader might have asked for something like, "Can you build a Sankey for me?" Right? So, and there are others, and it gives us that liberty, though There are, I think, nuances because some companies have this logical security and infrastructure set up that way that you might not be able to use these third party extensions. But altogether, if you're on cloud, is the best thing you can ask for right now. But if you're on server like me and in a bank, which is almost very tightly knitted around security, then it's a battle to be won in the future. So I hope someday we'll be able to. But till then, all mathematical calculations and data densification for the win. And now I'll come back to some of the questions we have. Let me just see. Hmm. Okay, so one question is from Ashutosh. It's around how do he will go for a Tableau extension according to his need, and since it is developed by someone else, like will it take into consideration the data privacy part? I think that is somewhat mostly important for most of the companies. So what do you think about it?
So for this part, as I mentioned already, always go for the accelerators which are built by Tableau and Salesforce. I mean, these are the reliable ones. Now, more and more vendors are pushing in their accelerators or their custom built dashboards. But again, go for anything that is authentic and that is certified by Tableau. And talking about the data security, so if you are using any accelerator that is built by Tableau, so which I told, like they are being hosted in Tableau sandbox environment. So there is a very detailed video by Tim. Please refer to that, like how he has explained about on the data security part. But again, see, if you are using anything from third-party vendor or anything from someone who has already created, so you need to be little bit of say cautious when using private data. But
Mm-hmm.
again, it kind of gives you say helping hand on understanding the KPI, and you can generate kind of mock data using any of the AI tools for your particular business. I mean, for the business which you are working on, and then with the help of that mock data, you can get to know the reporting KPIs. And once everything is configured, then you can kind of re-engineer the dashboard in your Tableau desktop environment, and it is now 100% secure. So this is a way.
Okay, that's great. I think that will help our folks to take this into consideration. I have a question around this is a question from me uh, around the accelerators. Right now, you actually told us that when we can download the accelerator and we can do the mapping. So, this mapping window, is it applicable on cloud, or does this mapping window will be there on desktop? How does it works?
So as far as I know, mapping
Mm-hmm.
is mapping happens at your Tableau desktop engine level only. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
until you are synced on your Tableau cloud. So it will not. And even if you are synced on your Tableau cloud, so that will go to your Tableau environment only. So,
Mm-hmm.
but again, I am not 100% sure, but which I assume I can assume that it happens on Tableau desktop level only.
Okay, because what I think is if such a mapping thing is available, then it shouldn't be just for accelerators, right? Because one way is how I generally do is if I have multiple published data sources and I have to switch between them, then I'll go to the Tableau server, go to edit server path, and then switch it. That way, I won't get rid of any of my formatting. But if I just add another data source and replace it, you know, so
You will
many
get
reds.
one, two, three, everything.
Yeah, so many reds as well, right? Then I'll be doing replace references, and then my formatting and color will be lost as well. So that's something to be checked out because accelerators are good, and they can certainly help teams who don't have that much capacity as well as workforce. or who don't have people like us from the data fam. Sorry to put that ball there. No laughs. That's a bit weird. Okay, so thank you so much, and thank you so much for taking your time for to both of us and sharing your knowledge with us. That is extremely helpful, as well as it's it's a good thing to be here with all of you, all the audience, and thank you for making it interesting as well. So some of you have asked for this QR codes. This session is being recorded and it will be on our YouTube channel, and we'll also post the link on our WhatsApp group. So please join both of these and have a great day. Some of you might be having the start of Friday. For me, it's almost the end of Friday. So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
And I have some folks. Let me just bring in some of the folks for some chit chat if they want to do. I had one more friend over here who where is. Is there anyone else as well? I think we're good. And I'll stop the recording so that you can say whatever you want.